lately I've been thinking deeply about something many immigrants quietly think about, but don't say it loud. With the recent attacks and growing tension against foreigners in many parts of the world, which I'm not going to be specific about any country, and increasing anti-immigrant conversations globally, it has honestly shifted my mindset and made me ask myself, as immigrants, should we also be intentionally building something back home? Because the truth is, many of us move abroad, searching for better opportunities, stability, safety, growth, and a better future for our family, like name it. But recent events reminds us that no country outside your homeland is ever fully guaranteed forever. And before anyone misunderstands this video, this is not about creating fear or panic, okay? It is about wisdom, it is about preparation, because the reality is situations around the world can change unexpectedly. Policies can change, economics can change, public attitudes towards immigrants can change. And as immigrants, we sometimes forget that while we are building abroad, we should also think carefully about what we are building back home. In this video, I want us to have an honest conversations about the recent tension against immigrants globally, why many immigrants are rethinking their future, why investing back home matters, and how to build wisely without living in fear. If this is your first time of coming to my channel or finding my channel, you are very much welcome. My name is Nesumo. Stay tuned. It is undeniable that many immigrants contribute significantly economically wise to many countries. One thing that often saddens me is how much immigrants contribute to societies, yet sometimes this feels unwanted. Immigrants work incredibly hard. Many work in healthcare, transportation, factories, hospitality, cleaning services, technology, social care, a whole lot. And in many countries, the healthcare system heavily depends on international. Example, in a country like Ireland, the healthcare system heavily depends on international workers. The same applies to many countries around the world. Immigrants leave behind families, comfort, culture, familiarity to help build better futures. Yet, despite contributing positively, immigrants can sometimes fail or become targets during economic hardship, housing crisis, political tensions, unemployment struggles, and sadly, we have seen examples of anti-immigrant sentiments growing in different places globally, and it's very worrying. However, being a nurse in this country, I can say that most of critical skilled workers contribute significantly through taxes and a whole lot. Watching recent attacks and tension involving foreigners in different countries really made me reflect deeply, because sometimes as immigrants, we start feeling permanent without preparing for uncertainty. And again, this is not about saying every country is unsafe. Far from that. There are many beautiful people across the world who genuinely welcome immigrants. But wisdom teaches us not to depend entirely on a country that feels stable today may experience political tension tomorrow, economic changes, stricter immigration policies, social unrest, and that reality made me personally start thinking more intentional about investing back home. For many years, some immigrants focus only on surviving abroad. Work, pay bills, repeat like the same cycle. But lately, many people are realizing the importance of building something sustainable back home too. And investing back home doesn't always mean building a mansion immediately. It can start small, like buying a land, starting a small business, supporting agriculture, investing in rental properties, supporting family businesses, building skills and connection back home. Because one thing I've realized is having roots back home creates options. Sometimes many people are forced to be stuck in abroad because they didn't really invest back home. And that is very worrying and also dangerous, because then you begin to depend on that country whilst you're supposed to rather impact positively in the country. And honestly, many immigrants dream of one day returning home, even if only later in life. Some want retirement options, business opportunities, a backup plan, or simply something meaningfully connected to home. And I don't think there's anything wrong with thinking that way. So I'll say that it's very necessary that you don't live in fear, but you live wisely. Now, I want to say this clearly. I don't believe immigrants should live in constant fear. No, it doesn't happen like that. Fear can make people anxious and also unstable. And many countries abroad still provide opportunities, safety, opportunity, growth, education, career progression. I personally have grown so much abroad. Recently made a video about me being in Ireland for 4 years and all the growth that I've actually had, you know, how matured I've become and all of that. So if you haven't watched that video, it's on the screen. You can have a look at that. It's very helpful. But I believe that wisdom means balancing both worlds. Build abroad, but don't completely disconnect from home, because sometimes immigrants become strangers both abroad and back home, which I don't think is a good situation. And that can become emotionally difficult later in life. I think it's important to maintain connection, understand opportunities back home, teach our children about their roots, because you can't forget your culture, and create something meaningful beyond surviving or survival abroad. Let's weigh these options. Now, while I believe investing back home is important, I also think that we need to approach it wisely with a balance. Sometimes immigrants become so focused on building back home that they completely forget to live where they currently are. Some people abroad are struggling severely, not resting, not enjoying life, avoiding basic comfort, overworking constantly just to send every penny home. And honestly, I don't think that's healthy either. There has to be balance. Yes, build for the future. Yes, invest wisely. Yes, think long term. But at the same time, enjoy the life you are working so hard for. Take care of yourself, take care of your children, create memories, live decently, and also rest. Anytime I say rest, I feel a little bit guilty here. So travel occasionally if you can. Enjoy the fruit of your labor too, because life is happening now and not only in the future. Another thing we must understand is not every child born abroad will want to relocate back home someday. Some children may build their lives completely abroad. Others may deeply connect back home and continue the family legacy there. You honestly cannot predict the future. That's why I believe balance is everything and also very important. Build abroad, invest back home, create opportunities in both places if possible, because nobody truly knows tomorrow. Life can change unexpectedly, and wisdom is about preparing without living in fear. At the end of the day, the goal is stability, peace, creating options for yourself and for your family, wherever life may lead you. Personally, this season has changed my thinking. Just to confess, I was actually like, oh, I'm living here. I live here now. So I think building my life in abroad is everything. But I think everything happens for a reason. Okay, life happens and then you begin to reflect. Main reason why I'm actually doing this video. So it has made me ask myself, what am I building long term? What legacy am I creating? What happens if life changes unexpectedly? And honestly, I think many immigrants are beginning to ask the same question. Not because we hate where we live, not because we are ungrateful, but because maturity teaches you to think beyond today. I truly believe that home always carries something special emotionally. No matter how long you stay abroad, home remains home. I was recently driving with a brother to work, and then he made a statement which actually resonated with this whole video. He said that wherever you find yourself, make a tent there. And I was like, wow, that is actually cool. And he is really right. So I'm telling you today, wherever you find yourself, make a tent there. And I also want to say this clearly. This video is not about creating fear or negativity towards any country. There are amazing people. Many immigrants are building beautiful families around the world. I know I've already said this at the beginning of the video, but just to state it emphatically again, this conversation is just about wisdom, balance, and thinking long term while appreciating the opportunities we have. This video is not about fear, it's just about balance, wisdom, preparation, and long term thinking. You can appreciate opportunities abroad while still investing in your roots. Okay, you can build globally while still remembering home. And honestly, I think immigrants deserve spaces where we can have these honest conversations openly. I would really love to hear your thoughts on this video. Do you think immigrants should intentionally invest back home, or do you believe building fully abroad is enough? And please remember to put the reason at the comment section as well. So let's have respectful and also honest conversations at the comment section. This is the end of today's video. I hope it has been helpful, or it has actually hit something within you that would help you to sit and also reconsider things, just as I also did a few days ago. Thank you all so much for always coming through. If this video has been of help, remember to hit the like button and also subscribe if you haven't, and also leave a comment to also encourage your girl. Thank you so much for coming through. See you all soon on my next video. Bye.